We live in the richest country in the history of countries. And I want people to think about that for a moment. We live in the richest country in the history of countries that have ever existed. We still don't have basics. We're not winning at anything except losing. The only thing America's winning at is bombing other countries and mass incarceration. That's it. That's what we win at. Maybe obesity as well. But these are not good things to win at. With all of our money, all of our advancements, we're not winning at things that matter. Hell, we're not even winning at the internet. And you would think we would be winning at that because that takes money. But no. There are places in America you could go to right now where the internet is barely faster than a dial-up modem. Now, some of you kids may not know what a dial-up modem was. The dial-up modem was basically, picture a squirrel. A squirrel grabbing a piece of yarn and scurrying up a tree. Then picture another squirrel with the other end of the yarn running the other way. Then imagine a lot of noise. That's what you had to go through every time you wanted to get on the internet just to check your mail. You couldn't even load images. Bernie Sanders has introduced a broadband or a high-speed internet bill to the tune of $150 billion. Here goes a clip where he talks a little bit about why that's important.
Broadband is inaccessible in many areas. Folks often can't even afford it if it is available. How would you regulate the industry?
Look, it's not a question of even regulating the industry. It's a question of making sure that in this country, and this is especially true for rural America. I mean, if you were now you get me going on this one too. I mean, in rural America, we're seeing in many counties a decline in population. Schools are being shut down. Downtowns are being boarded up. I come from one of the most rural states in America. I think the rural way of life is a good way of life, but it has to be supported. Instead of shutting down rural hospitals, why don't we make sure that all people in underserved areas have the health care that they need? If you talk about economic development, how do you have economic development in a small town if you don't have good quality cell phone service and good quality broadband? We invest in those things. God, I mean, it's really quite unbelievable that in the year 2019, in rural community after rural community, people do not have high quality, affordable broadband. This is the United States of America. We could do that.
Bernie Sanders' $150 billion bill to provide internet access to all Americans. And what it is he wants to make internet access a public utility. Sort of like, the telephone. Sort of like school, right? A public good. Something that you have because you live here. Which is something we're trying to go to with an enlightenment thought way of thinking where we see that people who are part of this great civilization, this great country, are able to actually benefit from being in this great country and a citizen of this great country in which they pay taxes, both income and sales. So I know it's weird, right? It's like, oh, I can't believe it. Yeah, where you actually have a stake in the country and you actually benefit from that stake. All right? And part of this is Bernie says we're going to break up these monopolies and closely regulate them. As part of the new plan, Sanders defines broadband as 100 megabits per second down and 10 megabits per second up, which is significantly higher than the FCC Commission standard of 25 megabytes per second down and 3 megabytes per second up. If elected president, Sanders said he would also work to restore net neutrality and ban internet and cable companies from instituting data caps and throttling consumer access to the internet. So this is huge, right? And I just want to point out, this is the type of plan that you get people to jump on to. This is the type of plan that excites people and voters and brings in this big coalition. See, they want to tell you that Kamala Harris, without Kamala Harris, without Cory Booker, you won't excite the electorate. And don't get me wrong, it's a shame that we live it's a shame that we live in a society where race is such a history and such a current of discrimination and bigotry that has occurred in this country that's, phenomenal, right? That people will have this thing stuck in their head that it's like, okay, we got to have a black guy, we got to have a black woman in order for there to be any equality. That's a shame, because in reality, policy should carry the day. I mean, what I'm trying to say is Bernie Sanders' plan is to bring internet to everyone. That's his plan for the internet. And Kamala Harris, who people say, that the only way to beat Trump is have someone like her, and her big plan was to take away Trump's Twitter. Get what I'm saying? Like, which are people going to be more excited about? All things being equal, right? You taking away Trump's Twitter or giving people broadband access just for being here as a human right, similar to water. Now, we need to clean that up, right? Like water. You should be able to have water in the country. The richest country that has ever existed should be able to give its citizens water, roads, public schools, and yes, the internet. Because it is freedom in the information age. It opens doors in the new world. This is what you need in order to live a successful life and be a part of industry and knowledge. This should be something that's a requirement. And what I'm saying is, they would rather have us focused on stupid crap like Trump sent a tweet. He sent out a tweet. We need to monitor the tweet. Instead of focus on encouraging everyone to utilize the most powerful tool at our disposal, something that back when I was coming up was just a blinking in an eye. You had to have a set of encyclopedias that cost an arm, a leg, and a foot. We got my encyclopedias from the thrift store, and they were missing certain books were missing. Didn't even have a whole set. But that was my internet. Some books that were old and outdated. All right, so guys, just know this is big. And the reason why there are more of these candidates aren't coming up with great ideas like Bernie Sanders in order to give everyone data access, internet access at great speeds is because they're more worried with protecting their donors and the rich bastards that fund their campaigns than they are in exciting you. Why come this couldn't have been Kamala Harris's big idea? Why couldn't she run on giving everybody internet access and all the ramifications of that? I mean, with the internet, people start businesses. People build their lives. They create careers for themselves. Empowering themselves. Children learning. People going back to school. The internet is a powerful, powerful tool. Why come she couldn't have made that a signature policy instead of whatever it was, because I don't know what her policy was. So, anyway, we know why. We know the answer to that. Somewhere deep down in there, somebody on her donor list, somebody was given to her campaign, didn't want it to be probably. Okay? That's probably what it was. I mean, I'm just a guess. I'm shooting in the dark here, but I'm thinking. I got a strong inclination that that's something to do with it, okay? Somebody's like, nah, we don't want you regulating the internet. I own 30% of the internet, and I want to be able to charge people whatever I want to access it. So if you want me, Kamala, to fund your campaign, I'd stick with messing with Trump's Twitter account. Okay, let's calm down. Let's be really, really clear. Unless you want to be out of this race. Anyway, okay. So anyway, Bernie Sanders' plan will break up monopolies, closely regulate them to ensure they're providing consumers with acceptable service, and eliminate hidden fees, surprise bills, and other consumer gouging practices. Sanders said, $150 billion. Get all the updates to the Tim Black Show by texting cornbread to 21,000.